friends, family, faculty members, and my fellow graduates of 2012. I want to first thank the faculty for giving me this wonderful opportunity to represent my fellow classmates on this very exciting and amazing last day at Northwestern University. I have often said that no one but the speech-language pathology master's students at Northwestern University can truly understand the hard work, stress, and feelings of accomplishment that we feel on a daily basis. But I will try my hardest to paint a realistic picture of a day in the life of a Northwestern SLP grad student. I completed my very last requirement on December 1st, 2011, and only 5 short months later, when I was asked to be the commencement speaker, I found that I had forgotten what it was like to be a grad student. It must have been short-term memory loss, or my brain's survival instinct to block out stressful memories. In any case, when I finally sat down to write the speech, all of those feelings came rushing back. Just like any typical Saturday morning of grad school, I woke up knowing I had work to do. So instead of waking up early, I decided to sleep in for an extra hour. I had my breakfast and told myself by 10 o'clock I needed to begin writing. Well, 10 o'clock came around and I opened my computer ready to start on time. And I did what any and all grad students do when they're ready to begin. I went on Facebook. I spent 10 short minutes browsing through my newsfeed, looking at pictures, reading status updates, and finally signing off to begin the hard work. Next, I sat and stared at my blank Word document, and I asked myself, what lessons did I learn from Northwestern that prepared me for the real world? 4 lessons stuck out in my mind: adaptability, hard work, kindness, and understanding. This graduating class of 2012 is a unique one. In my second year, the SLP program decided to restructure the curriculum, which included different classes, a rearrangement of clinic schedules, and doing away with old requirements as well as adding new ones. As a result, there was now a mix of students from the old program, which consisted of short trackers and long trackers, and the new program, which consists of 2 years and 3 years. Not only did we have to adapt to the new lingo, but also the challenges that lay ahead. In the fall of 2010, the NU Speech, Language, and Learning Clinic hit the ground running. These curriculum changes resulted in a slight supply and demand problem. There were not enough clinicians for the number of admitted clients. Many of us long trackers began with a caseload of about 5 clients and 3 classes, one of which was the highly anticipated information-filled class of neuroanatomy. As the weeks rolled on and midterms were upon us, many of us were given an additional client or 2. We now had new baseline measures to achieve, new materials to prepare, additional reports to write, and now we had to wear clinic clothes 5 days a week instead of 4. Many of us were now faced with the added challenge of balancing new clients with our existing workload. In those moments of stress, we may have overlooked what we were actually learning. Now, reflecting on this experience, I realized that fall 2010 taught me how to adapt to even the most stressful situations. We changed our busy schedules to include new clients, reprioritized our responsibilities, and adapted to new therapy styles of a clinical supervisor we had never worked with. Through these adaptations, we became more efficient, we worked together by brainstorming new therapy ideas, we shared notes and made study groups to prepare for tests, and of course, we celebrated the end of the quarter together. This particular lesson in adaptability has proven fundamental to my current position as an SLP working with preschoolers. I receive a new student almost every single day, and as a result, my schedule is constantly changing. The dynamics of my groups are always different, and my planning time continues to decrease. But because of the lessons in adaptability I gained from Northwestern, I am able to deal with these situations with much more grace. And I know when you too are faced with 5 new clients in 1 week, you too will be prepared. I'm sure we can all agree that Northwestern stands for hard work. We all have worked non-stop studying for tests, working on group projects, and of course, preparing for clients. I want all of the graduates to think back to the day they received their very first client. This was an exciting and terrifying day all in one. We were excited at the prospect of actually giving therapy, but terrified because we realized we had no idea what we were doing. To prepare for our first session, we spent endless hours reading the file, writing soap notes, preparing materials, data sheets, and even what we were going to say. The day of, we arrived at least 30 minutes before our session to lay everything out perfectly so it was within arm's reach. We had extra pencils in case one broke, set up our audio recorders, and checked them at least 20 times to make sure the battery wasn't dead. And of course, disinfected every inch of the room, just as we had been taught in our infection control lectures. When our client finally came, it wasn't as terrifying as we had anticipated, but this could be due to the over-preparation and hard work that we had prepared for. We not only worked diligently in the clinic, but also in our classes. We spent countless hours reading books and journal articles, oftentimes written by the professors of that class. We participated in lab sessions where we perfected our production of a schwa for acoustic phonetics, held up our green and yellow cards to answer practice quiz questions for neuroanatomy, drank soda and ate pizza to practice our supraglottic swallow, and did a version of speed dating to rehearse our fluency enhancing techniques. We worked as a group to build a model of a vocal mechanism out of balloons and modeling clay, assessed each other's vocal hygiene habits, and made appropriate recommendations, many of which were to decrease our consumption of caffeine, and even proposed a mock therapy plan for a patient with mixed dysarthria. Because of the countless hours of studying and preparing we have endured, we are now ready to tackle any challenge that comes our way. We know and remember why we would use a Mendelssohn maneuver. We can provide an excellent model of ER-ASM, can elicit an R like nobody's business, and are writing goals in our sleep. Then again, if we are unsure about a technique, EVP has taught us not only how to search for a journal article, but how to ensure that it is valid and reliable. Finally, kindness and understanding are essential to this field, and no story exemplifies it better than that of Gabrielle Giffords. She is the Arizona Congresswoman who was shot on the left side of her head, which damaged major language centers, leaving her with a diagnosis of aphasia, a difficulty with language. Through many home videos, we see Gabby working diligently with her SLP to regain her language skills. In one video, Gabby becomes very frustrated when she is unable to say the word watch. Immediately, her SLP recognizes her frustrations and gives her a hug, as well as words of understanding and encouragement. These small acts of kindness are ones you already perform on an everyday basis when working with your clients. Choosing this career path, you innately have the desire and passion to help others. But oftentimes, our busy schedules, determination to reach goals and make progress prevent us from seeing the real person in front of us. It is so important to remember that these small acts of kindness and understanding are incredibly significant to our patients' progress. Classes such as counseling, fluency, feeding disorders, and dysphagia, to name a few, have truly perfected these kindness and understanding skills that you as a person already possess. In the short time I have been at my job, I have found that the stamp I give to my students or the short conversations with the parents after each session mean much more to them than addressing every goal in one session. These small acts of kindness and understanding have created a trusting relationship with my families and allow my students to be more excited to come to speech therapy. So remember, when you begin your CF and are feeling overwhelmed, remember to be kind, because as Carl Buechner once said, they may forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel. Before I conclude, I would like to speak on behalf of the graduates and thank the people that have supported us in the past 2 years. First, I would like to thank all of the professors and clinical supervisors. We appreciate the knowledge and wisdom you have imparted on us, as well as the guidance you have provided us in the clinic and in our school and hospital placements. And I would especially like to thank our families. Thank you to all of the parents, brothers, sisters, grandmas, grandpas, husbands, boyfriends, and girlfriends who have been there for all of us for the breakdowns, the venting sessions, and of course, moments of celebration. We would not be here today if it was not for your support.